Well, last night, Hell in a Cell goes down, right? And like to let everybody knows, I used to be a hardcore fan. I became a writer. I stopped watching. Schmoedown comes around, and I get back into it to watch it. WWE Network, I think, is the most brilliant model of all time. And I watch a lot of the pay-per-views now. I skim through Raw and SmackDown to kind of keep myself up on what's going down.
Well, when you have the network, you might as well watch the pay-per-view because it comes with it. So it's like, it's not $50 anymore.
Yeah, and it's fun, and they're fun to watch. And I actually, it does the stuff that I feel that WWE is missing, and it's the matches, the overall matches, the like to putting in the work to showing really. It only happens on the pay-per-views now because I think that Raw and SmackDown have turned into action cartoons now. I was starting to really get into it again, and it's like I just don't feel Stephanie McMahon is. If she's really the head of creative for WWE.
She's not a head of creative.
Who's doing it over there?
And the head of creative is still Vince. No, he's 100% the head of creative.
You know better than I do.
100,000% the head of creative. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, because Triple H, what he's doing over at NXT, that reminds me of old school wrestling.
Yeah.
That to me reminds me of stuff that they used to do that I think that they should take a page from him and keep doing that.
Yes.
But
I don't think Stephanie's involved in the creative process at all anymore. I think she's just part of like the the other side of things, like the business side of things, like the outreach stuff.
So it's all Vince running stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Vince.
I thought he took a step down.
Robot, dude.
All right. So this thing last night, for the matches that I saw, I dug. The story stuff I did not. The stuff as far as matches went, I thought the matches were good. So and it's gonna be spoilers for you guys if you haven't seen it. So Becky Lynch wound up taking the championship from Charlotte Flair. One of the best matches I thought so far. I don't care about what people are saying about the ending. For me, what I thought was good about that match was that that Becky Lynch, they turned her heel. I thought she was so goofy as a face, and I thought it was so dopey to watch her. Like, and now they turned her into this heel, and I think she's got her personality. She's got a chip on her shoulder, and I think she's going to go over more. Let her keep the title, though.
Oh, absolutely. When the Becky Lynch heel turn first started to take shape, people gave me so much shit because I talked about how I enjoyed it, and I thought that it was going to breathe new life into her character, and it 100% has, and it's got her back to the title picture, and now she's champion again, which I'm stoked about. I love this new version of Becky Lynch, and their match last night was awesome. I think if it had been two faces going at it, the whole friend thing, I don't think it would have been as interesting. But the fact that they were now like hated each other and there was actual animosity between the two, it's so much.
So what I try to tell people with the Schmoedown is that when I have two people who love each other, the views go down. When I'm telling you, when it's two people like, oh, we love each other, it's like cool, but talk some shit. And that's what I've tried to tell people that's the whole reason Andrew Guy is so big right now.
He's the best.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so that she takes the title. Now, one of the reasons I say I want her to hold the title because one of the things that I loved so much as a kid was when you get those dominant champions and once you hold on to the belt, it means more for the championship and the stake of it. And I think that's what they've done so brilliantly with AJ Styles. He keeps holding on to that championship, and when you think he's going to lose, he's been in all of these great feuds, and then when he holds on to it, it brings more legitimacy to that championship. They just give away titles too easy now. It's one of the big things, and I like that they're giving him the championship. Who's going to beat him?
AJ?
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Wait, before we switch to that,
sure,
because I think it's going to be Miz who beats him for the title. I think it's going to be Miz, and we're going to lead to Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
and it'll be Daniel Bryan versus the Miz at WrestleMania.
The whole Daniel Bryan.
Did you?
Yeah, I was bored with it. I don't care about those two anymore.
But the Becky Lynch thing, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that to help solidify her and make her a serious threat, they need to make her one for real. Have her win matches, competitive matches, decisively, like she did last night. Even though she's a heel, she didn't cheat to win the title or anything like that. She won it in a fair way. Yeah, so I completely agree with you, and I also think that with Becky, I have a feeling, I don't know this isn't any insider like that, but it feels like we're gonna get Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania this year.
Switch her over to Raw?
No, I think Charlotte maybe, but I think Charlotte will win the Women's Royal Rumble since this will be the first time she's in it, and then she'll challenge Ronda Rousey.
Makes sense.
If they're gonna go that way, they can't have Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series because they do the champion versus champion thing a lot of times there. So I feel like it only makes sense that way we can get Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey too, and that would be a dope match.
I think a lot of that stuff would happen because they need to do that. They need to give Ronda Rousey more stuff too. I saw Ronda Rousey last night fought, and I think she looked good. I felt one of my things that I was always watching. I always said this that I was always worried because she was whipping people around, and she looked like she was being a little nicer last night.
She did. I agree with you.
She was being a little nicer, a little gentler with them. But I thought the match was good. I thought Alexa Bliss is one of the best performers that they have, and I thought it was a good match, and it ended fine. And I think the injured ribs thing was cool. That's how you got to explain how she's able to put up the fight.
Yeah, it was.
Do you
it was
think
nice.
that Ronda's acting chops are getting any better?
When it comes to in-ring stuff, 100%. No, I never had a problem with her in-ring stuff. Her in-ring stuff works. It's like she's still, there was this really silly moment though last night. So Alexa,
I loved this part.
So Alexa, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
so Alexa Bliss has her, and she's over, and she's like, "I got you now, Ronda." And Ronda stands up, and Ronda looks at her and goes, "Arr!" and like growls in her face. And I was like, "That is stupid."
You liked it?
I only liked it because she like went,
It was so stupid.
and then she like grabbed her and power bombed her,
Yeah.
and I was like,
That
"Whoa,
was cool.
Ronda's power bombing
Yeah.
people now." So like I liked it because it added like a wrinkle in her character.
Yeah.
It's similar to like when Hulk Hogan hulks up.
It was
I
like
like
that.
that she's kind of got like her own little Ronda Rousey Hulk up moment thing. That
So
she's,
you think it's going to be consistent and she's going to do that?
She's kind of been doing that a lot. Not so much the like she did last night, but she's had
That's
this
a
thing where she like gets up and kind of like does a Hulk out moment and then starts to like beat her chest like
she's cracking herself in her own ribs.
Yeah.
But
So
anyways,
I like it. I'm into it.
The last thing I want to talk about though is that the majority of this stuff I found was fine. The end, you can have this conversation over and over and over again about Roman Reigns, that he shouldn't be champion. They're over pushing him. They're doing this, they're doing that. And he's got this fight with Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman's got to work on his telegraphing of, now I'm going to throw you into the wall. You can hear him. You can basically see him. And now I want to make sure you reverse it. You can hear him. It's like, stop. So here's this fight. And now the members of the Shield come out, and then Ziggler and his buddy come out, and they're fighting on top of the cage, and it's all cool. It's crazy. Then the stupidest moment of the whole night happens. Seth Rollins, who I love, I think he's a good wrestler. He's back with Ziggler, and they're fighting each other. And they look down at in the back, and they go, "Okay, we're about to fall off the thing now. We're going to telegraph this and let everyone know that this is basically telegraphed and make it not look organic. Now, ready? Punch each other. Now, jump, whee!" And they fall, and they go into the table, and it takes away the impact of holy shit because it looked so staged. And obviously, well, that's what wrestling is. Yeah, but it doesn't. It's like Mick Foley didn't look it.
No,
they threw that motherfucker off by the seat of his pants. He went flying off the stage.
Even Shane's elbow through it didn't look like fake.
The Kevin Owens stuff that Shane did recently.
This one looked bad. I'm with you. And there's been a lot of that. They've done that spot many a time, like with cage matches and Hell in a Cells or whatever. And I don't love it, but this one was one of the worst. And Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins are both really good wrestlers, but you're right. To me, it had the same vibe.
Telegraph
to it.
cheesy. And the last thing though, then they have Brock Lesnar. He shows up. And I don't have a problem with him beating the shit out of both these guys. He shows up. They tell you he's not getting a title shot ever again. He beats the crap out of both these guys. And then they call it a no contest.
Yeah.
It's like it's in a cage. Anything can happen.
Not even
Let
a cage.
them fight.
It's a Hell in a Cell match where literally everything is supposed to be like on the table. Like everything goes.
Right.
There's no holds barred.
Right.
Like there's literally a no contest makes absolutely no sense in a Hell in a Cell match.
Bad writing.
Yeah.
Bad writing.
Very bad writing. And okay, I will say this though. I enjoyed all the Brock stuff, but I just didn't enjoy the no contest. Like if it had just been ended and then Roman put his arm over Braun and they had and he'd pinned him and it ended like that, I think I would have felt a little bit better with it. But yeah, ending in a no contest, a Hell in a Cell match just didn't make any sense. Also, did Mick Foley factor into that match
Not really,
at all?
at
Like,
all.
what, I get they were hyping his special that was after the pay-per-view, but like...
But still, they should have incorporated him a little bit more. But
some way, shape, or form.
But anyway, so I wanted to thank you for coming in and talk about the Hell in a Cell. So Ryan and John Roca will be breaking this down in depth.
No, I don't know if we're gonna do a full breakdown.
Oh, you're not
tonight.
gonna do a
No,
recap yet.
I didn't schedule one, so I don't know if there's time.
Okay.
I was doing the Bola stuff, so I really have to get back to the website.
You'll be talking about referencing it in your other shows too.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna talk about all these things on the
Yeah.
Raw recap that we do. We do Raw and SmackDown recaps every week on the YouTube channel for Wrestling Sheet. It's youtube.com/c/Wrestling Sheet.
Yes.
We also got the Wrestling Sheet Radio every week where we break down the top stories of the week. We've got a Wrestling Sheet Radio feed that you can find on Podcast One and iTunes, where we got a bunch of other shows as well. There's Best of the Rest, talks about all the indie wrestling that's going on. There's also Top 5 with Kevin and James, a bunch of stuff. So go check out all the different audio and video feeds.